Thank you for joining me for another episode of Beyond the 3D. My name is Michael J. Russ. This is episode 107, and it's inspired by something I was thinking about during my walk this morning. It was a beautiful sunny day. It is a beautiful sunny day here, crisp, in the high 40s, and the sun was just blazing brightly. And I just love days like that, to take a walk on days like that. It's crisp. There's life everywhere. And as I was doing my heart breathing, a thought popped into my head about Kobe Bryant and people of celebrity, of influence, celebrity influence, and on-air personalities, whatever, people who are public figures who many people admire, millions admire. And in the loss of these people, when for one reason or another they pass away, their lives are remembered, their accomplishments are remembered. And I want to bring this down to a personal level. I'm not a person who, just stated about me, I don't sit around all weekend and watch sports. It's really low on the totem pole of priorities. I'm a soccer fan. I like the World Cup, Women's World Cup. I love to see the women's team play, and I really don't like to miss a game, even if I record it. However, that's not something that occurs every weekend. I'm not a basketball fan from a perspective of sitting around and watching basketball. I'm not a sports person, so to speak. I choose to do other things that are more engaging. I love golf. I like to get out and play. I don't like to sit around on the couch. Not to say that that's not something that you should be doing. You should be doing what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. When it comes to Kobe Bryant, because I want to go back to that. I talked last week about what I heard Kobe say. How can I be a better basketball player tomorrow than I am today? And how he applied that to that same concept. How can I be better tomorrow than I am today at fatherhood and running his foundation and all of that? It was evidenced by the people who knew him closely. When I heard interviews with them, it was completely evident that he took this same question and applied it to other parts of his life. Now let's bring this back to you personally, because this is about you. This is your life. You're the protagonist in your own life play. The question we want to ask secondarily beyond that is why do we as a human species admire and look up to people who do special things? Why is it the case? Whether it be a scientist, someone in sports, an on-air personality, movie star, author, whatever this person, speaker, whoever it is, what is it we have to ask ourselves? Why does this person make me feel the way I feel? If it's while they're alive or after they passed, what you really want to do then, if you really are interested in living beyond the 3D world, the 3D illusion of all of this worshiping of people, the question you want to ask yourself whenever you find yourself feeling, hey, I love this person. Why? Why does this person evoke such feeling within you? And going back to Kobe, why did Kobe make you feel the way you feel? And why do you feel now about Kobe the way that you do? Always have to go back to feelings. Feelings are the litmus test. As the protagonist, as I said, in your own life play, you have the capability to evolve and transform yourself in whatever way possible. And we're all, playing a part. So what can we learn from Kobe? If you're feeling depressed about it, that, hey, you're sad about his no longer being around, that you'll no longer have the ability to see him maybe come back and play basketball again, even if it's in a special game of some particular kind, a tribute game, then we want to ask, why do I feel the way I do? What is it about Kobe that making me feel this way? And what can I learn from that? What can I take from that? What can I take from Kobe that I can adopt into my own life to make me a better person? What did I like about them? And I wrote a book back about 22 years ago called Powerful Golf, Lower Your Score by Changing the Way You Think. And of course, Tiger at that particular time was in his prime. And he's proven to have incredible staying power. I'm a golfer, so I don't watch golf unless Tiger's playing because it's a lot of time sitting down. And again, I have other things I'd really love to be doing, engaging life, being outside, outdoors, and being with friends. And I wrote in my book that you might not be able to display the talent of whomever it is that you're worshiping, but you can adopt their mindset. If you admire them because they're incredibly positive, you can yourself emulate that positivity. If there's somebody like Kobe who had a work ethic to make themselves better than the best, you can adopt that as well. That mindset of making yourself better than the best, innovating new ways of being better at whatever it is that you love. Be that a hobby. If you throw pottery, there is something you can learn from the best potters in the world. You can innovate the way that you throw pottery, the way you design pottery. If you're an artist, you can innovate. You can intuit new ways of being better at whatever it is. If you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if you're whatever it may be, if you're a salesperson, you can intuit amazing ways of connecting with people on the level of their feelings. You can do this. And this is what I was thinking this morning. How do you take this beyond just, oh, this person is gone and we'll never be able to see them again? Wow. What a waste if their life is, if that's the only thing that millions of people are thinking. They put a wreath, a memorial down at the Staples Center in Los Angeles where Kobe played, outside of Kobe's house in his neighborhood, wherever outside of his foundation. We're sad to see this person at such a young age no longer here. That is completely and totally out of our control. The other aspect of this I've talked about before is this needs to be a constant reminder of how important the people around us are, the relational connections that we have initiated and built over time. I wish we could all learn this one thing, to cherish the people around us that we work with, that we depend upon in our life, our family, our friends, our children, other loved ones. If we could simply really cherish the moments that we have with these people, to engage with them in a positive way, not a negative way. I've always said that zero adversity is about eliminating the experience of adversity in your life, and that's what it's about. Because adversity is not a thing. It's an experience of a thing. It's how you feel about something. Those doubts, those worries, those fears that you have when you're face to face with something that you need to do, some action you need to take. That's when you call it adversity. If it was a piece of cake, you wouldn't call it adversity. You'd say, oh, I got this. My point is, zero adversity is about saying more of, I've got this, than I don't have this. I don't know if I have this. I doubt whether I do have this. Because the mind programs the body. Your mind programs your actions. Your perception of a situation dictates whether or not it is or isn't adversity. Every single time. And the point I'm always driving home in this podcast is that we must be ever mindful of our perceptions. Ever mindful of our perceptions. In this case, our perception of Kobe is why we're feeling down, depressed about his loss, sad about it. Even though you didn't know the man, there's a way you can know the man through his thought processes, by digging in and finding out what made him such a stellar superstar. There's always a work ethic behind why somebody is the way they are. Yeah, there's talent. You're not going to be hitting golf balls like Tiger at 5 years old unless you're a prodigy. I tell you, it is. It's not that easy. You're not going to be playing concertos at 6 years of age or 7 years of age or 4 years of age on a piano unless you have some innate gift. Not everybody does. Not everybody has that capability. However, the best piano players in the world, best keyboardists, best bassists, best singers, best whatever, they have a certain work ethic. Barbara Love is now, I believe, in her 70s. Barbara Love is one of the most famous backup singers in rock and soul music. And I heard her on an interview on NPR. What was amazing, and Barbara Love is the voice that you hear on some of the earlier, the female voice, the backup voice that you hear on some of the Rolling Stones tunes. When you hear a woman, took my heart away, I can't remember the name of the song. Oh boy, what is it? It'll come to me probably when this podcast is over, as most things. It's back in a file somewhere in my head, but I remember this song. It's playing in my head right now, and I'm hearing Barbara Love's voice. What's interesting is this. Barbara Love's voice today at 70 sounds exactly like it did back 40, 50 years ago when she was recording. And you can't say that about many singers. I've heard a lot of singers, Carole King among them, and others that were really big in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, 80s, that rock, soul, whatever it is, country music, you name it, the voices are not the same. And when the interviewer asked Barbara, how does she sound the way that she sounds? She said, very simply, I've always taken care of my voice. After I sang a session or sang in a concert, whatever, did a live performance, I would rest my voice for several days if I could. In other words, if she did a show on Saturday and another show wasn't until Thursday, she spent a couple of days, 2 to 3 days, not talking to anyone. She rested her voice. I have never heard that from anyone ever before. And she says, people who would call me or connect with me, they knew if I wasn't picking up the phone, or if I picked up the phone and I wasn't talking, they knew, oh, she's resting her voice. The people around her that were closest to her respected that that's what she was doing. And that foresight 40, 50 years ago has led to her propagating her career to this day and time, to the age she is now. It's amazing. I have never heard that before. And so with everyone who has been lost to us at such an early age, as people say, before their time, that alone is up to debate. Is their time, do they have longer? We always want people to hang around longer. It's a selfish motive as a human being. We want people to be around forever. We want to be able to enjoy them forever. Although we know in our hearts that's not going to be the case, and we have to face that. So while they're alive, let's take it upon ourselves to learn something about our heroes that we can identify with, that help. Let's learn the motivation behind our feelings about other people. find the admirable aspects of these people and attempt to integrate the positivity, the positive aspects of what makes them so great into our own lives. Into our own lives. Let's do that. Let's stop crying about Kobe and being sad and spreading around on social media and, here's, so sad, RIP, blah, blah, blah. And let's start asking ourselves why we feel the way we do and what is the origin of those feelings about Kobe. And because it's got to be something positive. It's not something negative. It's always something positive. This person had made a great movie. They did this. If they made a great movie, what was it about them? Did they remember their lines? Were they always a stellar perfectionist? Something that you can take, some tidbit from Kobe's and some other famous person's life, you can take. There's something positive. You don't always have to focus on the negative. There are some negatives. There always are. Nobody lives in a glass house. Ask yourself that, and let's see if that can't make your life a little bit better. I tell you one thing it will do. When you start focusing on the positive aspects of how you feel, of how Kobe has made you feel, or anybody else, as I said, you're going to feel better yourself. You're going to forget all about, eventually, the loss of them and more thinking about how they live forever in your heart and in your soul based on having adopted something positive from them that you are now applying to your own life. That's all I have to say about that. I appreciate you joining me for this, again, short, unscripted episode. However, my goal this year is really to take using inner alchemy, which is what I just described. It's another way to say, hey, this is how you can transform the way you feel. It's because it's what it always is. How you can take that to a whole new level this year for you. I've been through the nuts and bolts. I've given you enough tools to be able to build a mansion high on the hill for yourself. The point now is, are you going to build something for yourself? Are you going to apply what I've shared to enrich your life to the point where negativity has no home? Where negativity has no home whatsoever. This is my mission and my goal in life, is to help you through what I'm sharing here, refuse to give negativity a home in your life. That's it. In a nutshell. Inner alchemy. Zero adversity. Talking about the elements of inner alchemy. Talking about sovereignty. Something, by the way, that Kobe, he was an example of a sovereign. Somebody who owned his sovereignty. Because if you don't own it, if you don't own who you are, take responsibility for who you are, there's no way you're going to be able to change. No way you're going to be able to transform. You can't change what you don't own. That's why blame is such a ridiculous notion. You start blaming somebody for something that happened for the way you feel, you no longer have the ability to transform your own feelings. You've given away that power to someone else. Don't give negativity a home. Don't be a victim. The United States is the most litigious society in the world. Someone's always looking to exact some bit of pain and suffering from someone else, exact some payment from somebody else for something that they wholly have a responsibility for. You might not be responsible for the actual action. However, you must accept responsibility for being wherever that action took place. Wherever it took place. Don't give negativity a home in any way, shape, or form. Always be seeking to transform how you feel. This is a moment-to-moment, real-time thing. It's just not something you do when Kobe Bryant passes away, unfortunately, at a very young age, or when Muhammad Ali passed away from Parkinson's at the age he was just amazingly able to get to. We do admire people. Let's take the time and the effort to adopt some of their positive traits, what's made them such a great person that we admire so much, and adapt that into our own lives. Don't give negativity a home. The experience of adversity can be eliminated forever in your life if you choose to perceive what is going on in your life in a positive or neutral way. If you haven't read my book, shameless plug at this point, if you haven't read my book, Zero Adversity, it is only 66 pages. You'll get through it in a couple of hours. But I guarantee you'll read it more than once because you're going to miss something, glean over something. And not everything that's in that book is going to be applicable to your life right here and now. Maybe a year or two from now, you'll pick it up again and you'll take something different from it. If you want to listen to it, it's 80 minutes of listening. That's it, one CD. Stick it in your car, drive down the road, listen to it, ponder it, re-listen to it. What I guarantee you is that you will feel differently about yourself and your life circumstances when you shift your perceptions about it, about the circumstances, about the challenges that you face. Appreciate your time. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. One more time, don't give negativity a home. Take care. Be well. My name is Michael J. Russ, your host, and I appreciate every moment that you take to listen to these podcasts. And I really, really hope that you're adapting some aspects of what I'm sharing to your life to feel better about who you are and what you're capable of. Bye-bye.